Welcome to Whippoorwill Holler, and welcome to my kitchen. I'm Miss Lori, and today we're going to be whipping up a chili and cornbread layered casserole. This is one of Mr. Brown's favorite dishes, so y'all stick around and let's make one of these yummy suppers together. Here is a written recipe for you to stop and write down. Or if you're on your phone, you can take a screenshot of it too. I'll have the recipe down in the description box below the video in my information box. We're going to start our recipe with 1 pound of ground beef. My ground beef is frozen still, so I'm just going to put it in my skillet, and I'm going to put about a half a cup of water in there with it, and that'll help it cook and defrost all at once, and it'll get done here pretty soon. So we're going to get our cornbread mixture together. And I'm just going to use my Martha White self-rising cornmeal mix. And y'all have seen me use this before. It's just a mixture of, you got your cornmeal, you got your flour, you got your baking powder, baking soda, salt. It's all in here together. And it's Martha White brand. So I got 2 cups of that. It's one of my favorite cornmeal mixes, but you can use whatever brand that you like. And I've got 1.5 cups of buttermilk. You can use just regular whole milk. If you use regular whole milk, it won't take as much. I'm going to use 1/4 cup of oil, and I've got 4 ounces of chopped green chilies. And you can just chop your own jalapenos up if you want to and put them in there. I just like these little cans of the green chilies. They're mild. They're not real hot. And I'm just going to mix this up. Now you can add you some cheese in here too if you want to. But I'll be putting cheese in this recipe here in just a little bit. I put the rest of my buttermilk in there. But I can tell you I'm probably going to have to add a little bit more buttermilk to it, because I want a certain consistency to my mixture. So I bet I end up probably putting about another 1/4 of a cup or so. You just want to stir it up really good, because you want to get a certain texture. You don't want it too thick and you don't want it too thin. See, that's just a little bit thick. So I know I'm going to have to add just a little bit more milk to it. So I add just a little bit more buttermilk. Now if I was using regular whole milk, I probably wouldn't have to add a little bit more. It's just that buttermilk's so thick. And there we go. There is a cup of cheese. And I need to get an egg. I need to put an egg in here too. So you'd see it's still kind of thick. But it's getting there. Just stir it up good. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and put my egg in here. That's going to help loosen it up a little bit too. And that did help it just a little bit to loosen it up. I like it to be really where it'll pour into that chili, will pour over the top of it really easy and not be too thick. Okay, now we're going to get started with our chili. Now this is just an easy chili recipe. You'll have all the ingredients, I'm sure, in your pantry and refrigerator. And what I've got here is I've got one chopped up bell pepper and about a half of an onion. Well, actually it was a part of a green bell pepper and part of a red bell pepper. But you just need one bell pepper chopped up and a half an onion. It's just what I had in the refrigerator, so that's what I used. And I'm just going to saute that just a little bit. Now I'm going to season my meat. I always season my meat, whether if I'm making chili or stew or whatever, I always season my meat. So we're going to put some salt and pepper. I'm going to add a teaspoon of garlic powder. I'm going to add a teaspoon of cumin. And I'm going to add about a half a teaspoon of chili powder to my meat. Now, once I get my tomato juice and my tomato sauce in here, I'm going to add more seasoning to the sauce part too. Now this is a recipe that I just made up one night when I wanted to make some chili and cornbread, and but I do have a really good chili recipe, and I've got that video that I made a couple of years ago. So now we're going to put in our tomato sauce, and everything has browned up good, sauteed good. And I've got 2 pints of my home canned tomato sauce, or tomato juice, sorry. So you want 16 ounces is what you're going to end up putting in here of tomato juice. So I'm going to put 2 pint jars. You put in about 16 ounces. Because you want this chili, you want it to be, the sauce to be really loose. You want it to be really juicy when you pour that cornbread mixture over your chili. You don't want it to be too thick. And I've got a little thing of tomato sauce here. About 6 ounces will work. I'm not going to put tomato paste in it because I don't want it thick. So tomato sauce, it works really well to give it a good consistency and still be loose enough. You know, you could use this base right here for a lot of things. You could put you some elbow macaroni in there and make you some chili mac. Okay, we're going to put our beans in here. And I've got 15 ounces of red kidney beans, or red beans that I can myself, and 15 ounces of black beans that I can myself. And we're just going to stir that up. And we're done. I mean, besides the seasoning, this chili is done. We're going to put another teaspoon of garlic powder. You can put you a teaspoon of onion powder in here too. We're going to put a teaspoon of chili powder and a teaspoon of cumin. And we're going to put some more salt and pepper. I've got onions in here, but if you want to put you just a little bit of onion powder in there, that would be good too. So we're going to stir this up. And we're just going to let this simmer for about 30 minutes. It don't have to do a lot of cooking down or anything. It just needs to simmer for just a little bit before we put our cornbread mixture over the top. I've got my oven heating to 400. And once we get our cornbread on here, it won't take long for it to cook. Okay, our chili's been simmering for about 30 minutes. And it smells so good. And we're just going to take our cornbread mixture. And first, I think I'm going to taste it.
We're not going to do it today,
and make sure that I don't need any more garlic or anything in it before I put my cornbread on it. And that tastes really good. We don't need anything else added to that. So let's pour our cornbread mixture over the top. And you can see how it just kind of sinks down in the chili, and that's okay. That's what you want it to do.
Yeah, you put little sausages in it.
The one thing you don't want to do is you don't want to stir it. Don't be tempted
Eggs in a blanket.
Take your spoon and stir your chili now. Don't try to do that. Just leave it just like it is. And there we go. We're going to put it in a 400-degree oven. 20 minutes later, here it is. You can see sticking a knife in it, it comes out clean. Now, everybody's oven varies. You just need to keep an eye on it. Mine was done in 20 minutes, but a lot of ovens may take 30 minutes. So now we're just going to take some cheese, and we're going to put some cheese on top while it's still hot. You can use any kind of cheese you want to, and you can put as much as you want to. So now all we're going to do is we're going to put the lid on top, and I'm just going to stick it back in the oven for just a couple of minutes, not very long, just enough, long enough for it just to melt that cheese really good. In fact, I might just turn my oven off. I'm just going to stick it in there and turn my oven off. So let's see what it looks like. That looks really, really good. Really yummy. Now you can put some black olives on top. You could put some scallions on top.
Too loud.
You could just dress this up any way you want to. But I'm ready to get me a bowl full of this stuff. And this stuff, it serves up really easy. It comes out really nice. You can see the chili layer on the bottom.
Some chili and cornbread.
And then your cornbread. You can see how it soaked up all that juice.
Mommy, Mom made chili.
She made chili
Man, it just looks so good.
Chili and
This kind of reminds me of my tamale pie recipe, but it's not. It's different, but it just kind of reminds me of that. So, there it is, guys. I want to show you the layers. You got your chili layer, you got your cornbread layer, then you got your cheese layer. It turns out really good. I hope y'all like this recipe, guys. I hope y'all try it. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe, like us, hit that bell. And God bless everybody. We'll see you in a few days.